So throw your hands up and fill the next cup. Let's get this started again, 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 again. Me and my whole crew, we live with no rules. Let's get this started again, again. So if you feel like me too, there's only one thing to do. Let's go. Pay down, call the taxi cab. Got a case in the fridge and a bottle at the crib. Let's all get twisted, double fisting, drink up, no resisting. Let's get this started again. Let's get this started again. Let's get this started again.
What's up, everyone? It's your boy NSRacing42 AKA Nathan Stapleton. And welcome everyone to season number 2 of the NIRA Red Bull Cup Series. And we are here at the Michigan International Speedway for race number 18 for playoff race number 2. Last time out at Indianapolis Motor Speedway and at the pit road, Ryan Henry was able to get his first two Red Bull Cup Series win and lock himself into the round of 12. But tonight is a whole different story. Now we are at the big, wide, fast, slick, 2-mile track of Michigan. And speaking of Michigan, I am joined by the Michigan native himself, your last native. Welcome up to the studio.
Let me tell you something, Nathan. It's a Christmas miracle.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I was at home last week at Minneapolis, so I know that feeling. So, like I said, Michigan, fast, slick. Clouds will get loose, clouds will get tight. It's gonna get very on the edge. Okay, they're gonna actually have to watch that. What do you think it will take these drivers to stay out front and possibly get the win and not have to worry about walking in next time out?
A couple things that I really think that these drivers, especially some of these playoff drivers, will definitely have to keep in mind is track position. Every spot on the track counts because you have to do what you have to do in order to pretty much get yourself a pretty good run here at Michigan International Speedway. And you also have to take care of those tires because we're going to be on a hot and slick racetrack because of the sun being out, and these drivers are going to be slip-sliding all over the place. Some will drift high, some will stay low if they manage to carry enough speed, carry just enough speed into the corner, while minimal speed at least. But these drivers, either way, no matter what end of the racetrack they're going to be at, going into turn 3, or more specifically going down into turn 1, they're going to be at 200 plus miles an hour. So that's something else to keep in mind. And pit stops will definitely be a huge factor in this race because you've got to manage that tire wear, as I just said earlier. Take care of the tires. You also have to watch your fuel gauge and just try to make sure you've got enough tires to make it to the end of the race as well as enough fuel.
Yeah, Michigan is not an easy track whatsoever, but one driver that was able to get it done last year when he was not in the playoffs was Quint Moore in the 96. This year he is in the playoffs. We just have to wait and see if he can go 2 in a row here at Michigan. And right now, here are the point stands after chase race number 1 last time out at Indianapolis. Ryan Kendall got the win, and he is locked into the round of 12. Angel Avila is in second, 31 points above the cutoff. Quinton Moore trying to get second win of the season, same with Angel Avila today. Quinton Moore is 27 points above the cutoff. Nathan Faden is 23 points above the cutoff. Bobby Fraser, the regular season champion, is 22 points above the cutoff. Matthew Elf is one of the heavy favorites this year. At this point, he's 21 points above the cutoff, and then James Selson and Josh South are tied 20 points above the cutoff. Top 8 in points all had good days, but the bottom 8 had terrible days at Indianapolis. Zachary Gilletto, 10 points above the cutoff. Christian Russell, 2 points above. Ben Crouch, 1 point above. And then Travis Crampton and Roger Ray are both in a tie, but because of the tiebreaker, Travis Crampton is in to the round of 12 as of now. Roger Ray is in 13th, 0 points out. Yepes is 2 points out. Brock is 4 points out, and RJ Bishop is 8 points out. So, if we're one of those championship drivers, what do you need to do to either get up front or maybe even get the win here today?
Well, as I said before, you have, especially if you're Roger Ray, Diego Yepes, William Brock, RJ Bishop, just to name a few, just for those guys that are starting up at the front. You see Roger Ray in the 78 starting in 7th, and right behind him is RJ Bishop. Track position is key, so you got to do what you can to maintain that track position, stay up near the front, and try to get yourself a pretty good run. Roger Ray, even though he's tied with Travis Crampton, he could probably point his way into the next round of the chase if he gets a good run here and then at the next racetrack at Rockingham. As far as RJ Bishop goes, he's 8 points out, so I'm not 100% sure what he's going to have to do. He might have to win this race, better safe than sorry, so that way he's safe going into the next round. So I'd say track position is key, and also you just got to play your cards right, avoid the potential big wrecks, and you could have a shot at the end of this to maybe get a good run and or win the race. That is, if you're one of those playoff contenders. Sorry, you got to use the correct term here. In order to pretty much point your way in or try to win. But if I were in a guy like RJ Bishop's position, for example, I would much rather win the race than get some good finishes. I would win just to be better safe than sorry.
Yeah, that's the stressful thing about this points format. Every position is a point. If you lead a lap, that's a bonus point. If you get the pole, that's a bonus point. And if you lead the most laps, that's another bonus point. So you could go out there and lead the most laps, do all those things, get 3 bonus points. But if you have a bad day, then it would mean nothing. So it's really tight. And today we will know why that these guys are the best of the best in season number 2. With that being said, let's get these 40 drivers fired up for race number 18 of this season and for the Menards runners here at Michigan.
Driver, start your engine!
And all 40 drivers will get rolling off here at Michigan International Speedway, and they will. Carter Friesen is going to start on the pole for today, and alongside him is Tyler Fink. The number 12 of Colton Young is alongside the number 96 of Quentin Moore. And roll number 3, we have the number 15 of Trey Wright and the number 18 of Angel Vale looking for some revenge here today. Roll number 4, we have Roger Ray and Matthew Elvin, and rounding out the top 10, we have Roger Ray and RJ Bishop and Travis Crampton. So, with all that in mind, who do you think will be able to possibly either spoil the playoff contenders, or out of those playoff contenders, who do you think could possibly lock themselves into the round of 12?
Wow, man, that's a pretty tough question, because when we come to a racetrack like this, anything can happen. Anyone could spoil any party. So that's kind of a hard choice to make. But if I had to say one guy, it would have to be that pole sitter, Carter Friesen. I think he could probably spoil the playoff party.
Yeah, that's very true. the 16th playoff drives, but meanwhile you have the rest of the field trying to get wins. Carter Friesen, Tyler Fink, race number 18, the Menards 400 is underway here at Michigan. And Carter Friesen will lead lap number 1 here at Michigan, and RJ Bishop is making it 4 wide going into turn number 1.
Yeah, I don't think that's a really good decision to make early in this race, because you could possibly take out a few other contenders, especially a few playoff contenders. Roger Ray was that contender that got taken out there. That would have been huge in the huge scheme of things, in the huge championship scheme of things, because Roger Ray's trying to get a good run so that way he can possibly point his way into the next round, and a wreck is definitely not something that you want.
Yeah, definitely. This was what we saw last week at Indianapolis. Angel Avila in second place, trying to chase down his teammate Carter Friesen in the number 19. One thing I noticed in that top 4 are now all Toyotas. They are showing up here today early on. Top 4 are all Toyotas here at Michigan.
Only difference is 3 out of the 4 of them have a lot to lose.
Yeah, Carter Friesen, he doesn't have anything to lose at this point. He just wants to get that win. He hasn't won since season number 1. I think Kansas. So it's been over a season, if I remember right, for Carter Friesen, and he would love to get a win here at Michigan. But Quentin Moore, he did a slide job move on Angel Avila and slides in second place, and now he's going to try to chase down the 19 of Friesen.
You also had Tyler Fink in the 72 move into the 4th position, just clearing, I believe that was the number 11 of Matthew Hartford.
And Matthew Hartford.
And now you got Colton Yoda to get into the inside to try to crack into the top 4. Or top 5, excuse me.
Yeah, Matthew Hartford, he's been one of the favorites this season. 2 wins. Was, I believe, the first driver to get 2 wins. And then Brock and Way also got 2 wins later on in the season. And why this has always happened to me, I look through the field and we have a lead change. Quentin Moore to the race lead at Michigan.
And this is a pretty good run for Quentin Moore. He's pretty far up in the playoff standings to where he could easily point his way in to the next round. And I mean, if he were to win this race, I mean, that would still solidify his spot. I mean, either way, he could point his way in or win. But either way, he's in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, last year, Quentin Moore, he won this race as a non-playoff contender. This season, he is in the playoff and he would love to get another win at Michigan. But the 2 JGR teammates are going to blow on by as he went up the racetrack. And the top 2 are JGR. And here comes Noah Clifton in the double zero. He was running inside the top 5 last week at Indianapolis until he got dumped late in the going, and once again he's up front in the double zero for Starcom.
Yeah, pretty good run for Noah Clifton, but I'm going to have to keep my eyes on that second pack, because even though that second group, there's a lot of cars in there, and they are really slicing and dicing. And there's some 3 wide going on in the middle of the pack, and that could potentially turn into 4 wide, so that's something you might want to keep your eyes on, because there's a lot of cars in that Hornet's nest.
Yeah, that is basically what this has turned into. It's a Hornet's nest back in here, and if they're not careful, then some chasers could get involved in possibly a big-time crash.
Yeah, you got a few of them in there. I saw one. I believe that was the 95 of Nathan Faden that was right in the middle of that mix. Also, you have Roger Ray in there too. So, not a good spot. Even, yeah, Ben Crouch in that 37 car. He's in the middle of that too. So, you definitely, if you're a playoff contender, you definitely don't want to be in the middle of this thing.
Yeah, I can count about half of the playoff contenders in the middle of the Swan's nest right now. And if a crash happens, this is not where you want to be. Almost contact between the 20 and the 78 right there. But right now, it is all Carter Friesen dominating in that number 19. But Clifton is up to second, Hartford in fourth, Quinton Moore in fifth. And how about this? The driver that's last in points. He's had probably one of the worst seasons I've ever seen on this channel. He was one of the final four contenders in the Krispy Kreme series 1 year ago, and he's had a terrible season driving for LCL's sister team for Jermaine, but finally something going his way here today at Michigan.
And this would definitely be a good way to kind of turn his season around, because he could probably just move his way up through the point standings, and if he continues to have good runs like these and delivers the numbers that he can deliver for Germain Racing, so that actually would be pretty good to have his season, to get Thompson's season turned around. We could potentially have a battle for the lead with Friesen, Clifton, and also Hartford here, because they've broken away from the other cars for the time being.
And right now, it's about 10 laps in on this fuel one. It's going to be about 20 to 25 laps on fuel. So halfway through this fuel one, and they are slipping and sliding. Pat's game is really spread out, and this event it gets a little bit more on the edge, because one slide job and you could be into the wall. So. And just like that, Carter Friesen way up the racetrack goes to 19.
Carried a little bit too much speed getting in the corner and got in there way too hard, and that allowed Noah Clifton to take advantage of Friesen's mistake.
That's what we have to worry about, is these guys trying to push it too hard on these older tires. They naturally slip up the racetrack here at Michigan, and that's what makes it so fun, but that's what also makes it so dangerous. Clifton is out front, but he has a whole pack of Toyotas right behind him. In second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Almost like a group of hyenas coming right after him, just trying to get a bone.
Pretty much. 3 of them are Joe Gibbs, and one of them is Gaunt Brothers. And how about this Travis Crampton in the number 22? He blew up under caution last week at Indianapolis. Nothing out of his completely out of his control, and now he's up front here at Michigan in this number 22, currently in a tie with Roger Ray for that last transfer spot.
And right now, he's the highest running Ford in the field for the time being, because you have his corporate teammate, Jose Mills, in the 21, trying to get around Stephen Thompson for position here. But as for Travis Crampton, not a good way to end last week with a blown engine. It's still a tough break for him, as you said, out of his control. And I think this is definitely a pretty good way to rebound, having a good run like this. You just got to deliver, though, which is probably going to be equally as hard.
Yeah, definitely. Quinton Moore, though, an amazing 3-wide move through the middle between 2 JGL teammates, and now he's going to go after the other JGL teammate, or the other JGL caller of Matthew Hartford, trying to take second away from him.
Cutting it a little close there, but they managed to get out of turn 2 okay. And now they're kind of going single file here, and the more these cars get spread out, I mean, the more you obviously have more space when you're spread out, but just the problem is just going side by side. And what if you do slip up? What if you do mistime that slide job and then get into the outside wall, whether it be in turn 4 or coming out of turn number 2? There's just so many unknowns. I mean, especially when you have a pack spread it out like this. you'll have a little bit more room to move around, but just mistiming those slide jobs is just something you just don't want to do. But when you're pack racing, it's different because you're the pack is just so condensed and you hardly have anywhere to go. And if you make a mistake, it's going to cost you big time. This spread out racing that we're seeing is just a little bit easier because you have more space.
Yeah, very true. And how about that 3-wide move through the middle for Noah Clifton? Split between 2 Toyotas, and now he's going to go up to second.
Now that's the needle for you right there.
2 times that someone's been able to do that. First it was Quentin Moore, and now it was Noah Clifton, and where did Jose Mills come from? Now trying to take third away from Angel O'Fela.
Got himself a pretty good run, so you could definitely have something to say about this championship picture or race picture by the time this thing is over with.
And the interesting thing is that we will have pit stops, and it's going to be fairly close on fuel, about 20 to 23 laps on fuel, I would think. So if it stays green all the way, which I doubt, but the way it's looking like it could, unless someone does a one move with a slide job. But right now, it's looking like it could go caution free, and pit stops might determine if it's going to win this race.
Yeah, pit stops are definitely going to be pretty crucial here at MIS because even though this is a 2-mile racetrack, it is still a pretty long way. It's just a half a mile shorter than Pocono because of its long straightaway. But here at Michigan, though, you'll have a little bit of a better chance to making it on pit road. That is, if you were to run out of fuel. But getting on pit road is a whole different story because you have to slow down from about 170 miles an hour through the corners, I would believe, down to 55 miles an hour. And you got to do that within a fraction of a couple of seconds. And that in and of itself is a very difficult task to accomplish, let alone dangerous.
Yeah, luckily we had no problems with that last year, and we just have to wait and see if pit stops will ultimately determine of who ends up winning this race. Quentin Moore took the race lead back from Matthew Hartford, and some drivers that we haven't seen up front. How about Adam Garcia and the 43 of the Hagen up front as well. But right now, it is all Quentin Moore in the 96 starting to pull away from second on back, halfway through the Menards 400 here at Michigan.
And we're now pretty much in that window to where these drivers could possibly come down pit road this time by, maybe next time by. But we're getting ready to see who's going to be some of the first takers down pit road here. It may happen this lap or it may happen next lap. Let's just wait and see what happens.
Looks like it might happen this time by. Yes, it will.
That's about 4, 5, 6, 7 cars coming down pit road this time. But wait until the next time around. There's going to be a lot of cars that are going to come down pit road. Almost like it's almost like lunchtime. You know, when you're off at work and it's your lunch break and you go out to McDonald's and you have to take the highway. That's pretty much what it's like. Only difference is when you go down the drive-through, you have a lot of other cars that are right in front of you that are trying to stop, either trying to get into their parking spot. So that's kind of an idea of what getting down pit road is like.
Yeah, exactly, and look at all those cars pitting this time by. That is the majority of the field coming down that time by. But Adam Garcia and Pat Smith are the first two that stay out, though.
Yeah, there were, I believe, a couple of other cars that did stay out as well. And I don't blame them. I really don't blame them at all, because that was a lot of cars that did go down pit road.
One driver that did stay out is Christian Russell, one of the championship contenders. Tried doing some strategy, the only one to stay out the longest. That is in the chase. So it's going to be interesting to see if everyone will cycle out here after pit stops.
Yeah, there might be some drivers that could get trapped a lap down, but we're just going to have to wait and see what happens here. And this right here is another challenge. Getting out of pit road and heading back out onto the racetrack, because if you're double file, you could get sorted back to single file here in just within a few seconds, because the apron is just wide enough for one car for a single file parade until you get out onto the racetrack. But if you're 3 wide coming out of the pits and onto the apron, getting back onto the track, you could cause a wreck. But luckily that didn't happen, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, very true. There's Patrick Smith right there, and there goes Quentin Moore. So I think the strategy call might work out on the long one, but it's not gonna work out that well for let's say Christian Russell. He's only gonna gain maybe 10-15 spots because he's gonna be 20 about mid pat. But they had to try something, and that's what they did.
You just gotta pull out all the stops at this point.
Past halfway, those are going to be the only scheduled around the pit stops here today at Michigan, and we haven't seen any caution yet. And with these guys being more spread out, it might become harder. But then again, they can always slide up the track, and that is where we could see a crash. So it's far from over here from Michigan. And it's like Tyler Fink has some kind of a problem on pit road, and he's going to be put a lap down. And their skid marks off of turn number 4, and smoke, but no caution.
Yeah, I wonder if that happened during pit stops. Either that, or I wonder if it happened at a time where there was just barely anybody around when it happened. But either way, surprised that we're still green.
Yeah, I don't know who went sideways, but luckily no caution for it. But there's some big time chases in the back right now, like Josh South, Marjorie Bishop, William Block, James Ellison, Mario Kendall, and Yepes, drivers like that that are deep in the field. So it's far from over, but for those drivers, being for the race lead, still being banging.
Oh, that's a lot of contact right there. That could possibly leave some time on both the 13 and the 96, because I think that was just square right on the wheels.
Yeah, Stephen Thompson, we haven't seen him up front all season long. He's probably had the most DNFs out of anyone. He's not taking nothing away from these championship contenders. He wants to win it and turn his season around in that number 13.
He has absolutely nothing to lose at this point, so he can just send it and go for it.
I mean, he's the top 5 are Stephen Thompson, Quentin Moore, Matthew Elvis, Angel Oliveira, 3 big names for Toyota right there, and then Jose Mills. He has a great car, and then Nathan Stapleton in 6th. He also blew up on the caution last week. Same with Yepes. Garcia and Patrick Smith. We didn't mention that, but they did a strategy, and they actually were able to get inside the top 10 after pit stop. So maybe that strategy worked out into the favor. And then of course you have our poster inside the top 10 as well. So yeah, a little right with King and Thompson being in last place in points and most likely going to stay that way. He just wants to get some wins before the season is over, but we're dealing with some of the best right now that up front that are in the chase and battling for those race wins and make it into the next round. And Quentin Moore, he wants to go 2 in a row here at Michigan as well, and that's what he's gonna do at least for now, as he takes the race lead away from Stephen Thompson.
For Quentin Moore, he can just win this race and move on into the next round. But as far as these other non-playoff drivers are concerned, such as Stephen Thompson and Tyler Fink, they've got nothing to lose. So, I mean, I said it with Stephen Thompson. They could just go for it and just have fun. But you also have another playoff contender coming into the mix, and that's the 11 of Matthew Hartford, not too far behind. So he could have a say in this, in who wins this race by the time it's over.
Matthew Hartford, one of the 3 drivers that have 2 wins on the season. We've yet to have someone get a 3rd win this season. Can Hartford be able to be the first driver of the season to get 3 wins in, 3 wins on the season? We just have to wait and see. Quentin Moore trying to get his 2nd win of the season and become the 4th driver with 2 wins. But he goes way wide.
Whoa,
oh,
man, that's... Wow. Oh, I have some skid marks coming out of 2.
Is the caution? No caution.
Wow.
Colton.
Okay, that's a little bit questionable, because the 12 is smoking and could have possibly been leaking some fluid on the racetrack. So you never know. Maybe the NIRA officials they're probably going to have to take a look at the track to see if it's still in some good condition.
Yeah, that's weird. Of course, recently the NIRA officials have been kind of drunk recently with their calls. And with the amount of damage to the 12 and with him being smoking, and with all the skid marks, that probably should have been the caution. We will look at it at the end of the race either way, but that could have changed the whole game of this race, but it didn't. But unfortunately, death rate for Luke Ray and Coutinho both involved in that one. Meanwhile, back up front, Tyler Fink takes the race lead from Coutinho, and watch out, here comes Patrick Smith, Season 1 champion, Angel Vale, and Jose Mills trying to get it back into the match here late in the going.
Man, those 2 drivers, Quentin Moore and Stephen Thompson, were being ultra aggressive all over the back bumper of Tyler Fink, and all over each other pretty much. They're just wasting 0 time. It's crunch time, so you gotta go. About 6 to go, coming around to 5 to go next time around. So you just got, if you've got what it takes to win this race, it's time to show it.
Yeah, 5.5 laps to go at the line. It will be 5 laps to go, and at that point, the race will be official. Last week, it ended up ending under caution. Hopefully that doesn't happen again here today. That's 3 wide back there. Contact with, I believe, the 11 and the 13. It's getting very dicey now. Getting close to the end of the fuel and tire one. And it's getting very slick and very hard to drive for these drivers. But Tyler Fink is gone in the number 72. Can he hold on to get his first career Red Bull Cup Series win? He's going to have to hold off some of the best though. Quentin Moore and Matthew Hartford all season long trying to chase him down.
And so far, all they're going to have to hope for is Tyler Fink. They're going to hope that Tyler Fink carries a lot of speed getting down into turn number 1, because we've seen Quentin Moore make that mistake quite a few times. So I wouldn't be surprised if drivers like Quentin Moore, Matthew Hartford, Stephen Thompson see the exact same thing, and there it is.
Stephen Thompson's gonna get 2 birds in 1 stone. 4 laps to go at Michigan, and Stephen Thompson out of nowhere.
If Tyler Fink made an even worse mistake than what Quentin Moore did, he would have gotten 3 birds with 1 rock.
That would have been a huge move, but wouldn't this be something if Stephen Thompson, the last driver in points, can get a win and spoil the chases here at Michigan? 3 laps to go at Michigan. One's really wide though.
Oh man.
a hungry pack of drivers, 3 playoff Toyota drivers, and the Season 1 champion Patrick Smith, all trying to chase the top 2 down.
Oh, it's 4-car fight for second. Stephen Thompson drifted a little bit high. That's going to allow Quentin Moore to get to the inside. And Tyler Fink is just running away with it at this point.
2 laps to go. Can he maintain? One's really wide though. Quentin Moore, one's really low.
Wow.
What a
just
run.
Look at that. Quentin Moore gained a lot of time on Tyler Fink there, and he's gone.
All that entire gap that Fink had is gone, but Fink 21 the outside lane.
Fink is fighting back. Here he comes on the high side.
Here we go, final lap here at Michigan. Will a non-playoff driver get the win, or will a playoff driver win 2 weeks in a row?
Oh, if Fink carries a lot of speed getting down into turn 1, he might lose this race.
Quentin Moore one's very low once again. He's gonna have a shot at it in 3 and 4.
Oh, he's going to have a shot, all right. He's going to have a little bit of help from Patrick Smith as well. Getting down into turn 3.
Still
Quentin
side
Moore
by
has
side.
the advantage. Not anymore. Patrick Smith drifts a little bit high. Here they come.
Still side by side. It's gonna be Quentin Moore by half a car length.
Wow.
What a finish.
You gotta give a little bit of credit to Patrick Smith pushing Quentin Moore there. Just giving him a little bit of an assist. That's all it took for Quentin Moore to secure this win.
And how about that for Quentin Moore? 2 years in a row that he wins here in the Red Bull Cup Series at Michigan. This time it's even bigger for him, winning in the playoffs and secures his space, or spot I should say, into the round of 12. What a battle there in those last 2 or 3 laps.
Now, that was some battle, and you've got to also give a little bit of credit to Tyler Fink. He did a heck of a job on that high side. Through 3 and 4, he was fighting back. He was driving the wheels off of that thing. Still managed to come home with a second place finish, though. Not too bad for the 72 team.
Yeah, he raced clean with the playoff contender. Tried making the outside lane work that we haven't seen too much today. Almost was able to get it done if it wasn't for Patrick Smith helping Quentin Moore. What a finish and what a race here at Michigan. Caution free, but it did not disappoint. Before we check out what happened off of turn 2 and off of turn 4 that should have brought out cautions, but they didn't. Here is the finishing results here for the Menards 400. Quentin Moore, 2 years in a row, gets it done at Michigan. Patrick Smith, season number 1 champion. I thought he was going to make it 3 wide going into turn number 3, but he thought better of it. Comes home second, a great one for him. Stephen Thompson, still a great one for him. Wait a minute. Tyler Fink was the lap down the whole time.
Oh, man.
Well,
Oh,
false alarm.
man.
False alarm.
Wow. We didn't notice.
It really came down to Quentin Moore and Patrick Smith ultimately.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that sums up this race. Recording it at 11 o'clock at night, and yeah.
Hey, this is what happens. We're all loopy at 11 o'clock at night. It's okay.
Man. Well, Stephen Thompson, a great one in 3rd. Noah Clifton in 4th. Angel O'Vale in 5th. Another great one, 2nd and 5th. He's going to have a really comfortable gap going into Rockingham next week, or next time out. Jose Mills in 6th. Great one for him. Millie Hagan in 7th. Matthew Elvis in 8th. Nathan Stapleton in 9th. Jose Mills in 10th. Bounced out the top 10. Poster Carl Friesen, a really solid one after starting on the pole, comes home in 11th. His teammate Adam Garcia in 12th. Madison Tall in 13th. Christian Russell in 14th. That strategy actually worked out pretty good for that 2 team. Gets the top 15 finish. And Bobby Frazier in 15th. Ace Garcia in 16th, Nathan Faden in 17th, Ben Crouch in 18th, Danilo in 19th, and Roger in 20th. And this can't get much closer. Roger just beat Crampton out by 1 position.
Yeah, and that's gonna help. That's gonna help Trap. I think they're still gonna be tied. If I'm not mistaken, either that or Roger Ray's gonna end up with the advantage, maybe just by 1 point, or still with that tiebreaker.
It's still going to be close between those two, but at the same time, you had Yepes have a bad day. Ryan Kendall have a bad day. William Block had a bad day. James Ellison, RJ Bishop, and Josh South all had bad days as well. So who knows? They might have actually gained some positions on those drivers. But yeah, 37 drivers finished on the lead lap. Tyler Fink, I'm so sorry we made that finish way better than what it actually was. He was only caught 1 lap down, and then Coutinho and Luke Wayne obviously were the 2 cars that should have brought out the caution but didn't late in the going. Speaking out cautions that should have happened, let's take a look at what happened off of turn number 4 first here in the Menards 400. We are just going to look at this one time and one time only. James Elson dove in to turn number 3 and 4 and just turned the 31 of Kashawn Richardson into the outside wall. He did end up saving it, but that did cost him a lot of positions, as you can tell. Tough play for that number 31 team for Kashawn Richardson. So now this one should have been a caution. Going into turn number 2, Luke Wayne and Coutinho, they washed up the track and just nowhere to go but into the number 6 for Coutinho and just turned them into the outside wall. A huge hit. Actually got into the catchments a little bit for Luke Wayne. And this is what I don't get. The 12 was completely sideways. And RJ Bishop was right there. And there's no
You also have
caution.
to add in. You also have to add in that there were 4 other cars coming in hot, and there was just a lot of smoke, so they could barely see what was going on in front of them. And it's a good thing that we just got away with it. That we barely got away with it, though, because if those 4 cars ended up getting collected, then it would have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah, very true. I don't know what the NIRA officials were kind of thinking, but I can kind of get why they didn't throw it out. But just a tough way for Coutinho and Luke Wayne here at Michigan.
It's that beer, man. It's that beer.
And for the last time of the race, I will let you take it away.
All right, take Mike, run away. Okay, sorry. So, blooper.
Okay. You may?
Alright, let's do this. Alright, so, right here you can kind of see the 12 of Colton Yo drift up the racetrack, and you saw the air from Luke Rainey's machine. As Nathan said, this should have been a caution, but for whatever reason the NIRA officials were drunk on the beer that they were given not too long ago. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what happens. I mean, they both were carrying too much speed in the corner, especially Colton Yo, and he washed up right into Luke Rainey's line, and they both headed up towards the wall, and the rest is history.
And with that being said, that's going to wrap it up here at Michigan International Speedway. Thank you guys so much for watching the Menards 400. Before we go, what is your final thoughts here at Michigan, Mr. Elijah Leonard?
I will say that even though we did technically botch that finish, hashtag Botchamania Enter 2003 edition, that's what I'm going to be making. But anyways, breaking the 4th wall. Anyways, going back to the race, I thought it was actually a pretty good race, even though there were some confusing moments here and there with the cautions that should have come out on the racetrack. and also with Tyler Fink being a lap down, but we got caught up in the moment. But either way, it was still a really good race, and the better driver prevailed, and it was Quentin Moore. So congratulations to him, and I'm ready for Rockingham, boys. Let's do it.
Yeah, Rockingham, that's going to be a wild one. The first cutoff race of the chase. It will go down from 16 to 12 after Rockingham. I will still have a shot at the playoffs. And I'll be completely honest, that is why that Michigan's going to have 2 dates next year in the NIRA. This track is so much freaking fun. And it's, once again, another fun race here at Michigan. Thank you guys so much for watching the Menards wanted here at Michigan for the season number 2 of the Red Bull Cup Series. Coming up next, all the points, the regular season points, the Rookie of the Year points, and the playoff points going into the cutoff race next time out at Rockingham for, I believe, is the NSA Batteries 500, I think? 400, 500, something like that. So that's going to be a good one from the famous Rockingham Motor Speedway. For Elijah Limited, I'm NSRacing42 AKA Nathan Stapleton. I cannot speak anymore. Thank you guys.
Welcome to my world.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Quentin Moore for his 2nd straight win here at Michigan in the Red Bull Cup Series. And until next time, I will see you guys at Rockingham. See if who will get eliminated. Until next time, for Elijah Limited, I'm Nathan Stapleton, and I will see you guys next time at the Y. Bye!
See you guys. NIRA officials, get off that beer.
Gonna